Betrayed by blood. A sister's ultimate betrayal. I grew up believing family was sacred. My parents raised Emma and me with the mantra, family always comes first. We were taught to lean on each other in tough times and celebrate together during the good. My sister, Emma, was not just my sibling, but my best friend. We shared secrets, dreams, and an unbreakable bond, or so I thought. When I met Ethan, I thought he was the love of my life. He was everything I had dreamed of in a partner, kind, intelligent, and driven. We started dating in college, and by the time we graduated, I was sure he was my soulmate. He proposed 2 years later, and we had the most beautiful wedding surrounded by friends and family. Emma, as my maid of honor, was there every step of the way, helping me pick out my dress, plan the ceremony, and offering advice on how to make my marriage thrive. She seemed genuinely happy for me, and I never doubted her intentions. But life has a cruel way of revealing the truth when you least expect it. A marriage unravels. 2 years into my marriage, Ethan started to change. He became distant, distracted, and irritable. He worked late hours, constantly glued to his phone, and brushed off my concerns with excuses about work stress. I tried to be patient and understanding, hoping we would get through whatever rough patch we were in. At the same time, Emma's visits became more frequent. She would drop by unannounced, often when Ethan was home alone. At first I thought nothing of it. After all, she was my sister, and I trusted both of them implicitly. But then the subtle signs began to surface. Emma would avoid eye contact when Ethan was mentioned. Ethan started defending her whenever I joked about her showing up so often. I once caught them sharing a laugh about something neither of them could explain to me. The breaking point came one night when I returned home early from a work trip. I walked into my bedroom to find Ethan and Emma together in a situation that needed no explanation. My world shattered in an instant. The two people I trusted most had betrayed me in the worst possible way. The fallout, Ethan tried to justify their actions, claiming it just happened because he felt neglected. Emma, on the other hand, fell apart, crying and begging for forgiveness. I couldn't even look at them. I called my parents, hoping for comfort and understanding, but their response shocked me. Instead of siding with me, they immediately began damage control. Emma is your sister, my mother said. You can't let this destroy your relationship. She made a mistake, my father added. But we're family. We don't throw family away over mistakes. Mistake? I shouted. This wasn't spilling milk or missing a birthday. She had an affair with my husband. But no matter how much I cried or argued, my parents were more concerned about keeping the family intact than addressing the pain I was going through. Cutting ties. That night, I kicked Ethan out of the house and told Emma to leave me alone. I filed for divorce within a week and moved into a small apartment on the other side of town. I cut all contact with Emma, refusing to answer her calls or respond to her texts. My parents, however, refused to respect my boundaries. They bombarded me with calls, texts, and unannounced visits, all with the same message. Forgive your sister. She's devastated, my mother would say. She can't stop crying. And what about me? I snapped. Does my devastation not matter? You're stronger than this, my father said. Don't let this anger consume you. Forgiveness is the only way forward. But I wasn't ready to forgive. I wasn't sure I ever would be. Rebuilding my life. Over the next year, I focused on rebuilding. I threw myself into my career, earning a promotion that allowed me to afford a nicer apartment. I started therapy to work through the anger and betrayal, and I joined a support group for people who had experienced infidelity. Through the support group, I met Alex. He was kind, patient, and understanding, a man who had been through his own heartbreak. Over time, our friendship blossomed into something more. For the first time in years, I felt genuinely happy. Emma's plea. 1 year after the divorce, Emma reached out to me again. This time, she wasn't begging for forgiveness, she was asking for help. Ethan had cheated on her with a coworker, and she was now experiencing the same heartbreak she had caused me. Now I understand what I did to you, she sobbed. I'm so sorry, Sophie. I was selfish and blind. please, can we start over?" Her apology was sincere, but I couldn't ignore the years of pain she had caused. I told her the truth. "I appreciate your apology, Emma, but forgiveness doesn't mean things go back to the way they were. I've moved on, and I hope you can too." Family tensions. My parents weren't satisfied with my decision. They continued to push for reconciliation, insisting that Emma had paid for her mistake and that it was time to heal as a family. "Emma needs you," my mother said one day, her voice heavy with guilt. "And I needed her," I replied. "But she chose Ethan over me. I've forgiven her in my heart, but I can't let her back into my life." It was a hard truth for them to accept, but I wasn't willing to sacrifice my peace for their comfort. A new chapter today. I'm married to Alex, and we're expecting our first child. My relationship with my parents remains strained, but I've made peace with it. As for Emma, we're polite at family gatherings, but nothing more. Forgiveness isn't about absolving someone else's guilt. It's about freeing yourself from their hold on you. I forgave Emma for myself, but I chose to move forward without her in my life, and for the first time in years, I feel truly free. Conclusion. Family betrayal cuts deep, but healing is possible. This story is a testament to the power of setting boundaries, choosing yourself, and understanding that forgiveness doesn't always mean reconciliation. Sometimes, walking away is the best way to find peace. When Sophie discovered her husband and sister's betrayal, her life fell apart. Forced to face heartbreak from the two people she trusted most, Sophie embarked on a journey of healing and self-discovery. With her family pressuring her to forgive, she had to make the toughest decision of her life: rebuild the bonds that shattered her, or walk away to protect her peace. A powerful tale of betrayal, resilience, and the true meaning of forgiveness.